What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garage. Today we have old Grover the vet in here. We got some work to do on it. We got a hyper flash on the turn signal. I think it has to do with the switchback lights that were in there when I got it. So I got some new ones we're going to install, and I've got some resistors we're going to install if we need to, if the ones that are in there are bad. That involves taking the wheels off the front. I don't know what Chevrolet was thinking. Why you got to take the wheels off the car to change a headlight or a turn signal? That's a lot. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. All right, the wheels are off the ground. I'm not in love with it, but there's just nowhere to put a jack stand on the side. So I had to put it here under the engine cradle. There's two jack stands under there, and they're solid. Not gonna fall. I'm gonna go and get these wheels off real quick, and we'll see. The access to the light is up here. I actually might be able to do it just with it drooped. Let's see if I can get in there and see if I can reach everything. We may not have to take the wheels off. That would be awesome. All right, so now you can see a little better. I got to pull all of these little pins and take this off because that's the back of the headlight. And the ones we're interested in are way over here. They're the turn signals, but it has the switchbacks. So when you have the headlights on, they're white, and when you hit the turn signal or the hazards, they blink yellow. This side over here has been flickering, and this side hyper flashes. And I've got LED tail lights, but I have resistors back there, so it's not the tail lights that are causing the hyper flash. It's something to do with this one. So let me get this cover off, see if I can reach that light, and go from there. I'm excited I don't have to take the wheels off. All right, they're just the standard little pop-up pins. I use this thing to get them pop up, but you can use just pliers or whatever. It's not a big deal. You just pop the little head up and then you pull the whole thing out and that cover comes off. So this is what we got here. So this one is the one we're interested in, and this is the resistor. It has some. Maybe the wire's loose. This side doesn't hyper flash, the other side does. But I'm going to probably replace them both because I have it, and why not? So I'm going to get this one out, have a look at this bulb, compare it to the new ones we got, and we'll get it installed. All right, so this white one is what came out of the car. It looks to be a pretty nice one. And these black ones I just blindly bought off of Amazon. And they look almost identical. I mean, they're extremely close to the same. The layout of the chips are a little different. But I think we're good. So I'm going to put these back in and replace those. I've got the resistors here. Basically the same thing as what's in there. And hopefully we'll get this one fixed. I really hope so, because that hyper flash it's just embarrassing. All right, so far all I've done is change the bulb, but I did both sides. I went ahead and opened this side up, get all the push pins there, and changed that bulb too. I want to make sure they're not directional, for one, and for two, if there was something wrong with this bulb, I'm wondering if it would have hyper flashed even with resistors. Because if I don't have to mess with the wiring, I don't want to. So I'm going to turn on the blinkers left and right, see if we get hyper flash on that right side still. And if not, then we're good. We just button it back up. So let's check it out. Let's see. Let's turn the car on. Let's see. Left turn blinks as it's supposed to. Bulb is blinking yellow as it's supposed to. We go right, and it's still hyper blinking. Let's see if it's the right color. It still could be reversible. No, it's blinking yellow. Now, before I start buttoning it all back together, let's turn on the headlights and make sure they're white. That one is. That one works. And now, if I turn the turn signal on, it should switch to yellow. Yeah, they work. Yeah, I can see the other one flashing on the wall. It's still hyper, but it's working. All right, so now I got to replace these resistors. Those of you that watched the video where I installed the tail lights, the Vette lights, LED tail lights, we did resistors on those. So we've done this before to get those to not hyper flash. The ones in the tail lights right here. So probably not going to go into super detail because I've done this before on a video, but I will let you guys watch along. If you have any questions or anything, you can pop them in the comments, and I'll be sure to help as best I can. So let me grab some electrical tools, the resistors, and we'll get this thing switched out. Going to get a good look here at these wires because it's going to be tight for me to try to do this job with you guys watching. That's the resistor. These are gold, ours are black, but it's basically the same thing. And then you just have two T-taps going to these two wires, the black wire and the white wire. That is twisted up a lot, which may be broke, which may be the problem. But I'm going to go ahead and swap it out, put a new one in. I've got the resistors here. Like I said, they're the same thing, they're just black. And they send us T-taps. So I will put a link to these lights in the description of the video. They look to be pretty good quality. And what I really like about them is they came with the resistors. Even though the advertisement on Amazon did not say resistors, because I ordered a set of resistors, they actually came with them. So you don't have to buy separate resistors. So that's really nice of the seller to include that because they know you're going to need it for the hyper flash. So let me cut this one out and do a switch, and then we'll check the flash and make sure it's fixed. Well guys, you know what they say, if something can go wrong, it will. Where the old T-tap was, the wire, it broke. You can see there. So I'm going to have to strip it and resolder it and then move the T-tap up. I tried to reuse the old T-taps and it was still hyper flashing, so that's why I went ahead and changed them. I didn't want to because of that reason. I knew it had already cut that wire a little bit because that's how T-taps work. But either way, we're still hyper flashing, which is odd. As far as I know, these side ones don't blink, so they shouldn't kick off the hyper flash if they're out. The back is working, and I tested the back. I went and put normal bulbs, normal incandescent bulbs in this side, which should take out the hyper flash if it's something wrong with the resistors, like if there's a bad connection or whatever. And it didn't. It's continued to hyper flash. So that's what led me to the front. Oh, look at that. I got a nail in my brand new tires. Perfect. But this one's still hyper flashing, so now I've got to fix that wire and see if maybe that wire was a bad connection causing a hyper flash. I hope so, because I really want this fixed. Let me get that done and we'll check it again. All right, so I use these trick little solder joints that I've used many times before. They're shrink wrap and they have solder right in the middle. So you just twist the wire together, slide it over the top, and then you use your heat gun and it melts the solder and seals it all up watertight. So now the light's working as it's supposed to. I'm going to reinstall the T-tap with the resistor and hope that it fixes it because it didn't earlier and that's concerning. So let's see. All right, the other T-tap is now installed. Everything's back the way it's supposed to be. Let's give it a test fire and see what happens. Cross your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly gentlemen, probably, but whatever. All right, turn the car on. Left turn. Works as it always has. Right turn. Hey! No fast blink. So let's see what it looks like. It should be white right now as like kind of like a daytime running light. And it is. And then we hit the turn signal. Should be blinking yellow now. And it is. See that? Perfect. That fixed it. Now, I'm not dumb. I'm not going to mess with the resistors and T-taps on this side. I'm just putting another bulb in and we're out of here because I don't want to break another wire and run the risk of not being able to fix it. So, shut all this down. Change that other bulb. I got to mount that resistor on the passenger side with the little zip tie. Button everything back up. And old Grover be ready to rock. It needs a bath. It needs a bath bad. I don't know what I got into, but there's like, it almost looks like cement. Just so you guys know, I drive this car. I drive it multiple times a week. It doesn't just sit in the garage. But it needs a bath, for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna button all this back up and we'll finish up. Just so you guys know, in case you haven't dealt with these little pins, it's installation is just a reverse. You basically just slide it in the hole, make sure it bottoms out, and then just push the little head in to lock it in. And that's it. All right, guys, it looks like that one's finished up. I'm happy that we didn't have to take the wheels off, but it's still kind of messed up that you got to lift the car up and droop it out like that just to get to the headlights. But anyway, we got it fixed, and that's what matters. I'm happy for that. That hyper flash was so embarrassing. I hated that thing. So now that that's fixed, it's good. I really do wish I had more content on the Vette. I know Corvettes are very popular with everybody, but this thing just works. It just goes. I mean, I don't have any problems with it. It doesn't, I mean, it does get warm when it's hot out, and that's one of the things on my list is replacing the radiator fans with a better set. But they're expensive. They're like $1,000 for the set. So it's in the plans, but it's just not in the budget yet. Also, got some stuff coming down for the OBS. I'm going to work on the driver's seat that's broken and try to get that thing solid again. And then whatever else comes along. It just depends on what breaks next. So, yeah, if you guys like hanging out with me, I appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel. And for now, you guys have a good one and rock on.